Global Transformation Astrology, GTA, with William Stickevers.
So this is all part of the Saturn-Neptune alignment because, like we've discussed, the Saturn-Neptune is very much connected with the post-labor society as AI begins to replace and automate decision-making humans, general decision-making, and humans will need to redefine meaning and purpose in a post-labor world. And that post-labor world is accelerating, right? Where we see a decoupling of labor from productivity. We just saw this with 200,000 Wall Street jobs are now at risk as agentic AI becomes a major breakthrough and is being rolled out into PCs, phones, all systems, servers. So now we're seeing where the agentic AI just watches what you do for a day or a week or however long, and it says just can take over and do your job and do it better than you. So Salesforce announced it won't be hiring any new engineers in 2025. The era of entry-level software engineering is dead. The Silicon Valley upper middle-class software engineer, a once reliable pillar, is fading away because the world no longer needs mediocrity. Today, a single skilled developer armed with GitHub Copilot, which you can get right on Microsoft operating, you can get it on Windows, right? You can download the GitHub Copilot and it can accomplish what teams struggle to build over years in a matter of days. So it's here, folks. The white collar recession has already begun. The U.S. professional and business sector has lost 248,000 jobs since May 2023. Oh, what came out around May 2023? Take a guess, right? So AI came out around that period. Jobs in the sector have contracted for 17 straight months, making it the longest streak since 2008. And white-collar hiring levels are now even lower than during the 2020 pandemic, and such weakness usually only takes place during economic downturns. Well, the economy is not in a total downturn yet, at least on paper it's not. So the only sector with jobs being added was the federal government. So the past 4 years, you go back from 2020 up until present, the only ones that were gainfully employed were people working for the government. And as we know, they're about to all get laid off with a vengeance. All right, we're talking up to 400,000 people getting laid off on top of the 248,000 and additional. And here's the bigger thing. Because productivity is no longer dependent on human labor due to AI automation and robotics reaching a point where they can outperform human workers, both intellectually and physical labor, we're on the path now of doing this. Businesses can now scale without hiring more people. So they're going to keep the people they have. Anyone who's like, B minus or less, they're all going to be laid off, and you're only going to keep your A team or your A workers, and our businesses will be able to scale without hiring more people, breaking the link between employment and economic expansion. So the traditional model of labor plus capital, which equals productivity, is going to be completely disrupted. And we know the labor capital productivity model came out during the 1880s, during the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. So what we're seeing is an AI robotic automation cliff. So you see here, human-centered approach where, okay, I have AI, but I'm not using it too much. And then you're forced to use it. Or let's say companies have the AI, but they're not really employing it or using it to its full extent. And then all of a sudden they're forced to, and then boom, we see the level of human involvement drops completely. So let's imagine a huge drop, a sudden slide from a familiar path to an unknown future. So this is what's called the automation cliff. Instead of slowly handing over our jobs to machines or robots or AI, we might soon see an overnight change where many industries and job types are completely taken over by technology. So two major changes are making this possible. First, there are humanoid robots that can do physical tasks just like people do. Second, there are AI programs that can handle work that needs thinking and problem solving using computers we already know. So unlike older machines that need special setups and constant human help, these new technologies can simply step in and start working right away. So the big advantage here is that these systems can work without the extra trouble of switching between people and machines. So think of this line here as people and machines, people and machines, people and machines. And this is where we see the level of human involvement continues to drop as we implement more AI and more robotics. But what happens is when only part of a job is automated, it often doesn't work as well as if a human or a machine did everything. So we've already seen this in areas like making medicine and farming, where letting machines do all the work has actually improved the results. So the AI is smarter and better robots are overcoming these barriers. So soon, when these systems become stronger, faster, and smarter than us, this could take away many, many jobs over the next 5 to 7 years. So what I'm getting at here is that the automation cliff is coming fast, and we must be ready for the big economic and social shifts. So we need to keep in mind that 7 years is near totality, a vast majority in the next 3.5 to 4 years. So the next 3.5 to 4 years is what I'm seeing. So what I'm going to focus on these next few slides is where I think it's going to hit first and hardest in a most disruptive way that is measurable. So we're going to see the end of language barriers, a world without miscommunication. So the universal translator, once a fantasy of science fiction like in Star Trek, is now on the verge of transforming global communications forever. So it's going to be powered by advanced AI real-time translation. You'll put the earbuds in your ears. You'll have a pair of Ray-Bans that'll be connected, talking, connected to earbuds, connected to your Apple Watch or Apple phone, which is going to be AI empowered. And then language will no longer divide you. You'll be able to talk with people in a meeting, speak in completely different language. You'll be able to read the menu in a completely different language. It's already been developed now. They're rolling it out this year. So it's no longer going to divide us, making misunderstandings and conflicts caused by linguistic differences as outdated as the telegraph. Hollywood's last act, AI-driven entertainment revolution. So the towering centralized empire of Hollywood, who's too big, too smart, and too big to jail, built on astronomical budgets and corporate gatekeeping, maybe they are not too big to jail, right? I'll take that back, is on the verge of collapse. AI-powered content creation will democratize filmmaking, allowing anyone with a vision to produce professional quality films and shows at a fraction of today's cost. So just as self-publishing shattered traditional publishing, AI will transform entertainment into a truly open landscape. So we're going to see the gatekeeper extinction. So traditional studios and networks will lose their monopoly over content distribution and no longer decide what the world watches. And the era of $200 million blockbusters will fade, replaced by thousands of independent creators crafting cinema quality productions for mere hundreds of dollars. So this starts now. We're going to see some bunch of kids make a film that looks like a $300 million blockbuster, push it up on YouTube, which is going to get more views, become a critical and commercial success than the best film that Disney can push out. So that is coming. I believe it'll happen this year, no later than 2026, because you can have the AI improve the script. Right now, you need a team of used to be 60, now they're down to 15, 16, besides the director, to make a film, to do the lighting, and all that's going to be reduced. That number is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's coming. The death of office work, the end of an industrial relic. So the traditional office, once the heart of the knowledge network, will soon be an obsolete place, similar to the coal mines and textile mills of the past. Just as the Industrial Revolution freed humanity from the back-breaking manual labor of the 18th century, 19th century, and early 20th century, AI and automation will liberate us from the mundane, performing rituals of desk-bound work. So the corporate theater ends. The daily commute to perform tasks that could be done anywhere will be remembered as an absurd relic of an outdated business culture, and all the socializing fads and artificial office friendships and forced networking will be replaced by genuine community. So we're going to see economic liberation where people are no longer bound by rigid corporate structures. People will be freed from trading time for money, unlocking new models of prosperity and purpose. And this is all part of the AI-driven digital transformation, where humans will be free to focus on creativity, strategy, and higher-level problem solving. The next thing, the end of human medicine. Now, it doesn't mean it happens 100% within 7 years, but starting this year, we're going to see the beginning of the end of human medicine, the rise of AI and robotic healthcare, Because remember, Saturn-Neptune, if we're talking about like government, Medicare, Medicaid, that's Saturn-Neptune, by the way. So they're going to be the first to transform. The government, surprisingly, are going to be the ones that, hey, we're going to embrace this because, Doge is going to come in, cut our budget, and they're going to say, listen, we can get a lot more ROI in medicine by replacing out, at least getting AI to do all the diagnostics and diagnosis. And then you're going to have robots come on board, participating more and more. And believe it or not, we're going to hear about the first surgery done by an AI robot. That's coming. It may not happen in America, but it'll happen in Africa. Elon Musk will have a surgical trained robot and sends it out there and it does emergency surgery because they don't have robots out somewhere in the middle of Africa or many countries. Forget Africa. So AI-guided surgical robots will achieve unmatched accuracy, performing procedures with near zero error rates sometime over the next 7 years, or at least in many surgeries. Probably most surgeons will be AI assisted. You'll still have surgeons, but AI will be doing a lot of heavy lifting, at least on many things where human hands will never be able to match on certain things, especially brain surgery. Precision is really required. Then we see education without limits. Teachers, they play down, oh, my students, they try and write their essays with AI and they know it's not them. But we're going to see the traditional standardized education system, which is failing big time, built for an industrial age to make people compliant office and factory workers, is going to fade into history, replaced by AI-powered personalized learning that adapts perfectly to each child. And by the way, that AI learning also applies to you, where the AI knows your learning history, knows your level of education, knows where your strengths and weaknesses are, and teach you in a way that fits the way you think and the way your brain works. So with intelligent AI tutors guiding every student, the rigid structures of classrooms and grade levels will become relics of the past, unleashing unprecedented human potential. And by the way, you think, well, if I go to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, I have an advantage, and I can, no, that's all being destroyed. I'm telling you right now, the AI will do better than the best professors of those institutions because that AI will know your brain and know how you think and know how you respond and know your strengths and weaknesses better than any teacher. So that's all coming. The teachers' unions are going to kick back with a vengeance on this because they're going to become what? Not become obsolete, but some of them will get it, but others will feel very threatened. Here's another thing I see. Government without bureaucrats, the rise of AI-driven governance. It ain't going to happen overnight, but I'm seeing the slow, bloated machinery of traditional government weighed down by human inefficiency, outdated processes, bureaucratic bottlenecks. All of that will soon become obsolete. Like take the DMV, for instance, right? Maybe there'll still be some bureaucrats. After Doge, I think there's going to be a rethinking of this, but a lot of that where we have better feedback systems will give people unprecedented control of government functions, etc. So reducing cost, all that stuff. So I'm seeing human error-led bureaucracy is ending. AI-driven governance will create smarter, faster, more responsive government. And it's going to happen at the DMV level. It's going to happen at the local state level. It's going to go all the way up to the federal. And with Elon there, he may say, hey, Trump, it's time to really start pushing this down at the federal level first. So we may see that happen sooner than anyone anticipates. And then humanoid robots, the ultimate drop in solution, which is really humanoid robots stand at the edge of the automation cliff, poised to replace human workers entirely. Their ability to function in human design environments without modification make them a game changer, right? So humanoid robots can operate with existing, like tools that humans can use because they have hands like we do. They can work with the equipment that we do in facilities without costly modifications, making deployment effortless. And by the way, people go, well, they can't move that well. Let me tell you something. All these robots can do backflips. They can break dance. They can stand on their hands. I used to be able to do that for a while. I probably still can do it. But the point I'm trying to make is most of the things most people can't do, they can do. Right? So they have more mobility. They can adapt to various industries seamlessly between task and work environments with minimal adjustments. And their anthropomorphic form allows them to navigate spaces built for humans. So they can fit right in. They don't have to be modified that much. So unlike partial automation solutions, humanoid robots don't require a hybrid workforce. They can take over entire roles, making a full transition to automation possible. And Elon Musk, by the way, is one of the leaders. And he's, of course, remember, it's the AI brain, right? He's building this infrastructure and he wants to put that brain into these humanoids. So what you're seeing here is like the future factor. There's some humans, there'll be some humans there. For the most part, it'll be robots.
To watch the full presentation and more like this on geopolitics, the economy, and world events from an archetypal and mundane astrological perspective, join the Global Transformation Astrology membership. Go to gta.williamstickevers.com. Become a GTA member today.